Hello everyone. Now I'm not sure how this video is going to go because we've got a bit of an oddity here. It's odd because this Hoover Steamvac model F5865-900 was never available in the UK. We got a similar machine branded Hoover Brush and Wash, which was my very first upright carpet washer, and it was an early upright carpet washer, and it served me and my family many years. So when I saw this on eBay, I thought that's odd because the listing didn't say anything about this being an American machine, 120 volts. So I did question the seller, and they said, oh yes, it is American, but we provide an adapter in the box. I can't imagine what sort of adapter will allow me to use this machine in the UK on 240 volts, because if you've watched my videos for American cleaners, I need my step-down converter. You can't just, put a plug converter, plug it in and expect everything to be fine. The listing stated it had been used once for a full house clean before they moved. I don't know. Looking at the pictures, it was just, I didn't see many, but it didn't look very used at all. But anyway, strangely enough, this was distributed to Sears Roebuck. I know that's a company that doesn't exist. I believe they've finished now, haven't they, in the USA? But this came from Hoover Distribution Centre to Sears Roebuck and Co. in Memphis. So this is one of the better, I think, and certainly better than Hoover USA produced now. I mean, Hoover USA and Vax UK, they're under the same company. So we get branded upright carpet washers, branded Vax, but they can often be branded Hoover in the US. It does cause a lot of confusion in the comments when people tell me that a Vax cleaner, they just copied Hoover. No, they haven't. It's the same cleaner, just with the Vax branding on. But this is a proper Hoover, proper USA made Hoover Steamvac. I don't know why they called them steam, because steam is not involved. Right, so I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know what condition. It cost me £90. We do have the instruction book. Now this says, I don't know if this has been opened. This contains hose and accessories. Well, it doesn't contain the hose because the hose is actually fitted on this cleaner. It has, I don't know, it has been used, but I just can't understand how they've managed to use this in the UK. So that's, it'll need cleaning up. That's the small upholstery cleaning tool. And this is the same as we got with the Hoover Brush and Wash. That's the hard floor adapter that fits over the nozzle, the front plate. Then we've got a hand tool holder and another piece that holds something. It'll all be assembled. I'm sure it'll be easy to assemble. It's sort of been thrown in. Here we have the handle. It's got some little grubby marks on, but I don't know if that's from storage. It does feel quite solid. We've got the trigger. We've got a top hook that rotates. Steamvac Deluxe 5-brush agitator. Here is the adapter, still fitted to the 3-pin plug. So that's a grounded plug. It says auto transformer, max load 50 VA, input 220 to 240 volts, output 110 to 120 volts, made in England. Is it a Takima? I don't know. I don't feel comfortable using this. I don't know if this is designed for higher wattage appliances. I think this is probably about 12, maybe, I don't know what the wattage will be. I'm thinking, well, it might only be 900 watts. I don't think it'll show the wattage, it'll show the amperage on the doodah. It could be up to 1400. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use my tried and tested black box because it's got a lot more gubbins inside. I mean, it's quite a heavy thing, that, but bit dubious. So it looks like this has been used as stated. Let's hope it's all intact anyway. Right, we've got the clean water tank. Another cleaner that's very similar to this, I have shown on my channel quite a while ago, is the Vax Oasis Complete, and that was the nearest we got to, apart from the Hoover Brush and Wash, which was the first. Vax did a range. They did the Oasis Complete, and they did a standard Oasis with a fixed brush, and I know Hoover did a fixed brush version similar to this without the rotating agitator, but this is made in the USA. It's not even a Mexican assembled one. This is actually a USA made one, which I'm sure my American viewers will appreciate. Yeah, it's going to need a clean up before I attempt to switch it on. I hope it's all here. Right. Oh, what's this? Hang on. Right, well, it's a good job those didn't fall out of the bottom of the box. That's the two long screws and nuts that we need to connect the handle. Right, well, yeah, it looks a bit grubby. Unlike the Vax and Hoover versions we got in the UK, the hose on this model is permanently attached. I've seen a couple of YouTube videos from some American people that have got this, and apparently there's a bit of a weakness in the hose where it enters the cleaner. It can split, so we'll have a look. That seems fine. So apparently this is a weak point, and you can see there's already strain on the hose. So people have fixed them with tape. You can't buy this hose as a spare. In fact, you can't buy many of the parts for this. So what this cleaner does, when it's in the upright mode, it automatically diverts to the hose. So the suction will be through the hose. And when it's in operating mode, then it diverts for carpet and hard floor cleaning. I think there's some sort of valve gubbins here, and it's a different arrangement with the ones I've had. It's still, oh, it does, oh no, it doesn't do that. Yeah, with the ones I've had, the Vax one and the Hoover Brush and Wash, these clips move out manually, and that releases the dirty water tank. But on this model, there is a handle, so I believe when the handle's lifted, yes, it unlocks. So, yeah. And also, with the versions I've used, to convert for tool use, there was a panel here that you pulled up and then you slid the hose in and then connected it up. So there's no connecting up of the hose. So yeah, it's all a bit sticky and yucky, but it's going to clean. As I said, the brushes look pretty good. You can tell it's not had much use, because those spin scrub brushes, you know, after a bit of use, they become dirty and lots of hairs and things get embedded, and you have to get a pin or a needle and then just go through all the brushes to clean them. I've done it before. It's a labour of love. It's something you have to do in front of the TV, and it takes ages, but it's very satisfying, because once the brushes become too clogged up with hairs, they don't work as well. But the thing is, as I've always said with carpet washer videos, vacuum thoroughly first, more thoroughly than you'd normally vacuum. You know, take double the time at least to vacuum, go both directions, up, down, cross, to get as much dirt out of your carpet. And when I use this, I will be pre-vacuuming. I need to clean my living room carpet, and I'm going to try this machine out for that. We've got the agitator speed selector. So you can turn the agitator off or have it on low speed or high. Normally you just leave it on high. Also off, and I did this with my Vax machine and the Hoover brush and wash, this is actually an air powered brush. It's like a turbine, so it doesn't have two motors, it just has the one motor for the suction. I think it might have a pump as well, that's just for the hose use, because when it's in upright mode it uses gravity to feed the solution down to the head. So when you turn the agitator off, it diverts more suction to the cleaner head, so it's sucking, you know, a little bit more power to suck out the residual moisture in the carpet. So that's what I always did when using this type of machine. Cleaned it on high, and then after I've done a section I'd switch it off, and you could see more of the dirty solution coming up this part here. So we'll have a closer look at the bottom of it as well. We also have this is new to me. On the models I've owned in the past, this would be a little cover that you'd press and it would open up, and then you'd attach the solution tube when using the hose. But obviously this is automatic, floor cleaning mode, and you can just see it's green for tools. So if I recline the handle, we should show the green for tools move over to the floor section. So these are the 5 spin scrub brushes, and this is the earlier brush roll. They made them a little bit bushier on the later models, so that everything turns very smoothly. Now that should easily lift out, he says. Be careful not to break anything. These tabs may break. Well, they used to move. They used to lift out easily. Oh, I think you just got to jiggle it until, there we go, that's one side. Oh, there we are, that's it. So I think possibly my Vax Oasis, I have bought a new brush roll for that. It might be the same as this. I have seen on Amazon.com a replacement brush roll, but it didn't actually say this model in particular, but it did look very similar. It's got the central post here. So obviously that is driven by the suction, and there's a little hole there. So it turns the brushes, and they all interconnect. These can be removed individually if you want to for a thorough clean. I've also seen the central part here available as a spare. If that breaks, and it's only plastic, if that was to break for some reason, if it became jammed or something, then of course with that broken, none of the brushes will rotate. So you can buy, or used to be able to buy, just one of these brushes with the post attached. And you can see also this spins, and that shows through a window at the top of the cleaner, so it shows you that the brushes are actually rotating. But that's very clean. I'm going to rinse it clean under the tap, and you know, but really that's very good. It's all, as you can see, yeah, I do believe the seller when they say it was used once. Here's the rating plate. So it's Hoover Cleaner, the Hoover Company, North Canton, Ohio, 44720, made in USA, model F5865-900, series N7.9, 120 volts, 60 hertz, 7.9 amps, serial number 039800199238, household type, for safe use see operator's manual. It's all pretty good. I can't see anything broken. Now how does this come off? Oh, that's it. Oh, it does have the filter. I did look on Amazon.com. You can buy new filters. A little bit of muck on that, but that'll just pick off. So under that little foam, we pull it off. We've got the float valve, which raises up obviously, and it shows red at the top to give you another visual indication, but you know when it's cut off because the motor starts to sound high pitched, and obviously it's not going to continue to pick up any liquid. So as soon as you hear the tone change and that valve shows, and switch off and empty, yeah, it's going to clean up really easily. There's a bit of grime in the bottom of that, but not much. Lots of intricate little bits where dirt collects in these. Must be designed that way for a reason, all those areas. And I'm sure the Hoover engineers had a reason for that. That looks different as well to the Vax Oasis. These 4 different sized holes. Not sure what they're about, but as I said, this was designed and made in the USA, so I'm sure the Hoover engineers had very good reasons for doing that. And there we go. So that will go back on the cleaner. Which way is it? That way, isn't it? Yeah. And lock that down. And then of course the clean water tank fits on the top after I've assembled the machine. We'll just have a quick look at the instructions and then I'll pause the camera and I'll give this a good clean up and we'll switch on. Fingers crossed it will work. We've got a list here of Hoover factory service centres, so if I need to get this serviced I'll have to hop on a plane, which is not going to happen. Oh, here we are. Steamvac Deluxe. Thank you for buying a Hoover floor care product. All our products are carefully inspected and tested. And we've got the Hoover product registration card. So we've got service centres in Alabama, Arizona, California, Canada, Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, Washington, West Virginia, Wisconsin. West Virginia, I know that in a song. West Virginia. Oh, it's John Denver. Country roads take me home. So, yeah, plenty of places you could take it in for service. And you can register now and enter our $100,000 giveaway. I wonder if anyone won that. So here's the owner's manual. I expect it's in multiple. It's in English, Spanish and French. So, yeah, it's all quite comprehensive. Or something else. What's this? It's to order shampoo and things. Shampoo, pre-treat. Oh, that looks like it's the hard floor adapter. Oh, and that's something that's missing in this. I don't know if it came with it. Very useful clean out tool. Little flexible piece of plastic that you could clean out the front nozzle with. So I will check that I've received everything. Well, here is the unpacking list. So obviously we're not getting any solutions. I wasn't expecting any. Got the cleaner, the hose attached. Yeah, we've got everything that should come with this particular model. It doesn't show the clean out tool, so I assume it's not available, or it wasn't available. Okay folks, I'm going to follow these instructions, assemble the cleaner, give it all a bit of a clean up. As I said, it's not going to need much, but I just want to sanitize it before I use it. And then we'll do a demo of this Hoover Steamvac Deluxe. Time has moved on, as it always does, and I've cleaned up this Hoover Steamvac. I've had the front nozzle off, although it says in the instructions not to remove it, but I got it off, cleaned all behind it, put it back. The brushes, although they weren't filthy, are slightly better. And everything has had a general clean and a polish. So I'll get this plugged in. We'll plug in the grounded cable. It's all very nice to have the colour matched as well, colour matched cable. So we'll plug in the 3-pin grounded plug. We'll switch on. Hopefully the brushes will rotate and the motor will sound okay, and then I can start a bit of cleaning. Yep, so that's working. Yeah, it does sound a bit quieter now that I've got it in the upright position. So I'm going to clean my living room carpet. It doesn't look filthy. There's been a couple of pet accidents. There's an area where I stripped a vacuum cleaner and there's a bit of motor dirt or carbon dirt. I don't know what it is, but there's a black stain on the carpet. I might pre-treat the black stain actually with the hose. Yes, I'm going to do that. So we'll see the hose attachment. Check that works. Make sure it is pumping solution. So I'll just pre-treat areas. First of all, I'm going to move any movable items of furniture. Thoroughly vacuum. That is very important before using any carpet washer. Thoroughly vacuum, preferably with an upright cleaner, mains powered, and Hoover even state that best to use a machine with an agitator. So obviously the instructions for this were written long before all these cordless machines were on the market with their little brush rolls and relatively weak suction. So because this is a Hoover, I'm going to use a very decent Hoover upright cleaner with the old-fashioned beats as it sweeps, as it cleans action to thoroughly clean the carpet. But first, prepare the room. So I'm going to remove as much as I can, just some of the smaller items of furniture. I've got a coffee table in the middle of the room. I'm going to remove that, thoroughly vacuum, and then we'll pre-treat the stains, and then finally I'll use the main carpet washer to clean the main area of carpet. Okie dokie, so I've thoroughly vacuumed the carpet, and yes, it looks clean, doesn't it? I'm recording this in summer, so the carpets don't get as dirty in the summertime. In the wintertime, mud and all sorts of stuff gets dragged in on shoes and my dog's paws. So yes, looking at all this, it's clean, but I know that there's stains on this carpet. I know the dogs have had accidents. They were cleaned up at the time with a little spot cleaner, but you know, I'd feel better if the whole carpet's done, because when you spot clean an area of carpet, that bit of carpet can be cleaner than the rest. There is some specific marks. Hopefully you can see this. It's just a dirty mark because I took a vacuum cleaner apart on the carpet, which I shouldn't do. I keep saying to myself, you should do it on an old rug, but no, I didn't. And this is areas I can see. It's very hard for the camera to pick up, but I'll know when I've used this Hoover Steamvac, the carpet will be cleaner overall. You can see that maybe a bit better. And also when I have the bright lights on the carpet, certain stains and marks show up more. Okay, so I've filled the tank with hot water and solution up to this fill line here, and I've got the hose ready to go. So obviously when I switch on, hopefully we'll start to see some spray when I squeeze the trigger. So I'm just going to pre-treat this area here, just mainly to test that the hose works, and then I'm going to go over the rest of the carpet. Well, the hose seems to work okay. We've got suction and solution spraying, and I've gone over that area. Obviously I'll be going over it with the main carpet washer, but I think I've got most of the stain up. So we need to store the accessory back and wrap the hose around the cleaner. It's quite a tight fit. That clips up there. So now all I have to do is recline the handle, and then the cleaner reverts to carpet and floor cleaning mode. We've got the agitator speed on high. So let's start cleaning. It's always best to start in the furthest corner away from the door that leaves the room. So the door behind the camera is the kitchen door, and I'll be going into the kitchen to empty the dirty water and refill. So I'm going to start in the corner behind me, work my way back so I won't have to keep walking on damp carpet when I need to empty and refill. The clean water tank is empty, so I'm going to have to refill and also empty the dirty water tank. So what I'm going to do is empty the dirty water tank into the clean tank, just to see how effective this Hoover Steamvac is at sucking up the water. Now, I went over 2 slow wet passes forward and back. Then I went over a couple of dry passes with the agitator running, and then I also, with the agitator off, went over the area several times, both this way and that way. So hopefully I've extracted as much water as I can. It's quite a plush pile. The carpets I have in the rest of my house are much shorter pile and they dry much quicker. This is quite a plush pile with a thick underlay underneath. So a lot of carpet washers will leave a considerable amount of water in the carpet. So it'll be interesting to see. So I'll not have to measure anything because I know that I filled up the clean tank to the fill line. So if we take out the dirty tank, let's just bring the cleaner so I can get to it. I'll need to release the handle. There we are. We can have a quick look. It's not going to be, as I said, it's not going to be filthy dirty, but I can see that the water looks fairly brown. Don't know if you can see that. Now the area of carpet I've cleaned isn't the heavy traffic area. Where I'm kneeling now, from both doors right through to the kitchen, that's where most of the dirt and the dogs tend to have their accidents. But yeah, it feels damp, I have to say, the carpet. Now the trick is getting the dirty water into the clean water tank. Yeah, it's not filthy, as I said, but I wasn't expecting it to be filthy. Oh dear. Now, that's not as good as I was hoping for. Like where my thumb is where it was filled up to, and here where my finger is, that's how much water it's picked up. So yeah, it's probably about 50%. The tank does narrow at the top, so it is wider at the bottom. But yeah, maybe just under 50% liquid pickup, which I'm surprised at, to be honest. But as I said, this carpet, if I was to try this on a thinner pile carpet, I think it would pick up 60 to 70% of the liquid. It's just this carpet, yeah, it just holds on to moisture. Anyway, that's empty now. I'm going to have to empty out the dirty water from the clean water tank, give it a good rinse out, and then refill it with hot water and carpet cleaning solution. Well, that's about it for today's video. Pretty pleased with the results. It will take a while for the carpet to dry. Let's just have a look at the dirty water. Lift it out. Everything smells very nice as well. A lot better than it did that way. Still getting used to how this all comes off. It's a bit different to the one I had before, or still have. Apologies if you can hear any children singing outside. They're selling homemade cakes on a little table just in the close. Don't worry, I'll be reporting them to the council as soon as I've finished this video, because I'm sure they're trading without a license. Anyway, yeah, that is dirty water on a clean looking carpet. I'd love to be able to show you really filthy carpets, but unfortunately, because I own so many vacuum cleaners and carpet washers, my carpets get cleaned a lot. And it had a good clean before I shampooed it, didn't it, with that lovely vintage Hoover Senior. In fact, it's not too bad. This is part of the carpet I started cleaning, and I might have slightly damp knees when I get up, but it isn't bad at all. It's a nice machine. If you've got one of these, if you live in the US of A, keep hold of it, I suggest. Try and keep it going for as long as possible. Try and find spares for it if you can. The main spare you'll need for this, I think, would be the brushes, maybe the tank filter. Look after it, cherish it, because I can assure you the Hoover Steamvac is far better than anything Hoover are selling in the USA at the moment. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Click the bell icon and you'll be notified of all my new uploads. And I have a playlist of carpet washers on my channel, so you'll see many different models that I've tested over the years. So from me and the Hoover Steamvac Deluxe, it's goodbye and thanks for watching.